in that secondary this year?
I mean, Malcolm just brings a competitive spirit that we love, and his ability to challenge receivers, and his history of getting his hands and disrupting the football, shown to be a good tackler at times for us. And I just love his competitive nature. He comes to work every day, trying to improve.
Paul Kaharski.
Hey, Mike.
Paul, you got moved up in the batting order. And he's on mute.
It's a real honor. It's a real honor.
That was your chance. That was your chance right there, and you got stuck in the batter's box with the bat on your shoulder.
Yeah, the pitch was not
right down. It was right down the middle.
I know it's just 2 days, and it's hard to read that much in. Usually, defense comes out and looks better than offense early in camp. It doesn't seem necessarily that it's been that way. It seems like things are kind of even, or that the offense is maybe even a little ahead. Do you think no offseason makes things even inherently at the beginning?
I hope it's always even, and that's what happens in a football game. Sometimes, somebody comes out and makes a play, or there's a turnover, or there's a big play, and you have to come back and play the next snap or play the next series, and that's really how I try to talk to the players about the way the practice is going, and that you have to not stand there and say, hey, let's go, guys. I told them it's about show me, don't tell me. And you have to do that on the field when things aren't going great. You have to come back the next snap and be ready to execute and do your job.
What have you seen from Nate Davis so far, and how do you feel he's done in the first full off season?
It's been 2 practices. We haven't even put pads on. So I think the best way to be able to evaluate a lineman right now is that, his comfort level in our system and what we're asking him to do, and, the calls and the adjustments, which I think he's much more comfortable at and proficient at. So when the pads come on, we'll see what his, improvement level's been, and then we'll continue to coach him. But, Nate really settled in well for us and did some really nice things last year for us, and there's going to be some things that he'll have to continue to improve.
Thank you for your graciousness.
You got it.
Joe Rexrode.
Hey, Mike, with DeAndre Walker getting the look he's getting right now, is that DeAndre sort of earning that opportunity with off-season stuff, or is it that with all that time off, you really want to give him a chance to get that kind of a look?
I mean, opportunities come in a lot of different ways, Joe. So I don't really, it doesn't matter how you get the opportunity. It's that you do everything you can to take advantage of it. And I think that he's really done that throughout the off season in the mobile classrooms, or, in the Zoom setting. And then now being able to take it to the field, he looks healthy. He's been able to participate, and so that's allowed him to hopefully improve. So he is taking advantage of his opportunity.
Jared Stillman.
Yeah, Mike. Darrington Evans, for a guy that had such a good college career, had a couple of fumbles today without pads on. How concerning is that for a rookie?
It's concerning for anybody. We got to take care of the football, no matter who it is. And so, we'll work with them and we'll coach them. And it's one of those double-edged swords that you're coaching something on defense that they can hammer the ball out, but you'd like it not to be. You'd like them not to be able to get it out against your guys. So we're going to have to certainly take care of the football, and that's a team key every week, and that's something that we believe in.
And on Khalif Raymond, how much improvement have you seen, not just in his skills after last year, but maybe in his awareness of what he is his routine of being around the team since he's been here for a year now?
Yeah, I think he just, he had some big plays for us last year down the field. So I think the quarterback has confidence in him. I think Ryan has confidence in him. I think he's improved his route running. he's not the biggest guy, so he's going to have to run really good routes against, press coverage or bigger type players that may want to get their hands on him or create some contact. And I think he's understands that, and he's worked, really hard, and that'll be something that'll have to carry over when we get pads on here and, we're running and running routes.
Thanks, Mike.
Jim Wyatt.
Mike, I guess first, just a procedural question. Are you practicing pads for the first time tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
And secondly, whether it's Evans or Fulton or Wilson or any undrafted guys, what do you stress to the rookies here at camp when you're going to be dealing with a lot of ups and downs, highs and lows, just to have them keep fighting and push through?
One is to be in great condition. And I think that everybody in this is a fast game. This is a fast league. It's up tempo. Practices are up tempo. That last snap isn't going to have any bearing on the next snap. We're going to have to move on to the next snap. But if you're not in condition, it's going to be hard to do that. You have to study, to put a routine in. You have to trust your coaches. You have to trust the veteran players. And that, it doesn't matter, again, how you got here. It just matters what you do when you get here. That's how we evaluate you.
Terry.
Mike, with Christian Fulton, what's kind of the learning curve in terms of him being able to work both at the nickel and then maybe at the outside as well?
I think that to really be good in a defensive scheme or any scheme, it helps to know what's going on around you. I think you have to do that. You have to learn your job first, and then as you branch out, you have to learn what the pieces around you are doing. So maybe you can do your job a little better, and then your job's a little easier when you understand what other people are doing. I think the final step to that is trying to understand what the other side of the ball is doing and how they're maybe trying to attack a certain coverage, or what that player's technique is going to be against you. So right now, I think he's just focusing on his job, whatever that may be, whatever we're asking him to do. And then hopefully he can continue to progress to where he knows what the guys around him are supposed to be doing.
Gentry.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Speaking as the parent of a player, how are you kind of viewing what's going on in college right now with some conferences playing, some conferences not? And do you feel confident that it's safe for Tyler at this point?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking, Gentry. I do. I focus on, my family, the Tennessee Titans, and Boston College. And that's where my focus is. They have great leadership there. Jeff Hafley, is an unbelievable man. The communication that they've had with the families and the parents has been outstanding throughout this entire process. And the comfort level that I have with Tyler, where he's at right now, going through this situation, is extremely high. I have a lot of confidence in what they're doing and their testing and their protocols, having heard from their doctors. So as of now, we're just planning on him playing games and trying to watch him, whether we can go there or anybody can go watch him live, or we'll watch him on TV.
John Glennon.
Yeah, Mike, wondering the rookie class in general, and maybe specifically with Isaiah, how did you expect, the lack of an off-season, OTAs, et cetera, to affect these guys? And how have you seen that play out, if you have seen anything play out in the first couple of days of practice?
Those OTAs move pretty quick, John. I think that's what you watched there the last 2 days was really an OTA practice. And I know that there's some time off between that last OTA and training camp, but they still have a point of reference, I think. And right now they don't. Or the only point of reference is yesterday or this practice that we just had. So tomorrow is another step, and tomorrow is going to be another step with pads on, and it's going to change. And then we're going to really start to try to figure things out and see what it looks like. So, the expectations are still extremely high, but I do understand that there were 13 of those OTAs that they left out there, and we'll keep moving forward.
David Buckler.
Mike, I'm curious, how much more interchangeable are the two safety positions now, maybe as opposed to when you played? And what has the evolution at that position done for defenses and what they can do?
Ideally, you're looking for the most versatile players that you can. And sometimes that's guys that are just always exclusively, down around the line of scrimmage. Sometimes, those are interchangeable and you can play left and right. And, we want to be multiple in our coverages. So, there's a lot of technique that we're asking our safeties to do. Sometimes it's down the box. Sometimes it's a two high, system. Sometimes it's a single high system. Sometimes it's man coverage. So, that's really the versatility that we look for.
Chris Harris.
Hey, Mike, kind of back
Mike,
to
Chris.
piggybacking off of Terry's question about Christian and you talking about how it's good for him to learn all the different positions out there, whether it be inside or outside. How can we saw today, working against a guy like Adam Humphries, who's such a precise route runner and technically sound, how can that accelerate his learning process, do you think?
That's how we get better. That Harold goes against Taylor Lewan, that Jeffrey's in there working with Roger Saffold, and, Malcolm and AJ are working, and, the linebackers are covering backs, and that's how we all improve, is by practicing. And so you hope that it's competitive, that we know and understand how we have to practice and try to stay on our feet and take care of our own team. And, but you want it to be as competitive as possible.
Kayla.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. When you look at
a glamour shot, Kayla.
What'd you say?
I said you got the glamour shot up there.
I know, right? I was like, how the heck did that get up there? I swear I do not know. It's connected to my computer. Anyways, Cody Hollister, this is a guy who's really had to make the most of his opportunities wherever he is. What have you seen growth-wise with him from last year's training camp to this one?
He does contribute on special teams, which is something that, really gives him, advantage when you start, just talking about different receivers. Like, what can you do? This guy can play a couple different positions. He's willing to go down there and block. He's reliable as far as being able to know a few positions on special teams. So those were things that we really liked out of Cody last year, and he's really picked up where he's left off.
Eric.
Hey, Mike. I saw Cole McDonald in the one-on-one tackling drill, which, for a quarterback is unusual. Just curious what kind of went into that decision and how much Cole's versatility is something that has stuck out about him.
I think there's a lot of times the quarterbacks run with the ball, Eric. So hopefully they can try to get out of somebody's way or get down and save the equipment. So, I just wanted to get him some work, and whether that's a quarterback scramble, or a run or a boot that we have, that he ends up with the ball in his hands, and that's all that was there.
Teron.
What's up, Coach? With Amani Hooker, he got some extended opportunities today in practice. So what can you say about the depth you have at safety and what you're expecting this year? Crookshank.
Well, again, I'm not gonna try to have too many predictions or comparisons about those players. I think that those guys are young players that are continuing to develop in our system, and have been pleased with what we've seen here early on. It was nice to see Amani have the PBU today. I thought that was a good play, but they're both improving. And Dane's growth playing safety, he just has a very good skill set. Very rangy. He's fast. He's a big player. So again, the more of those type players that we could have, the better. And then both are major contributors on special teams.
Last one, John.
Mike, I had one more for you. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the skill and the hand-eye coordination that it takes to catch a deep pass on a regular basis. I mean, I guess there's a lot of receivers that might be able to get open deep, but just the kind of the trickiness and the skill that it takes to haul one in regularly.
This is just a guess here, John. I wouldn't be able to tell you, but those are, the margin for error, is so thin on those passes. They call them 50-50 balls for a reason. You're running down there, you might get your feet tangled or your hand fighting with a DB, and you have to adjust slightly to the football. The body control that you have to be able to come down with it. So we hit a couple in practice, and then we've missed a couple. So a lot of times that there's some contact down the field that they'll let go, and I think that any of that little contact could contribute to just not being able to bring it in. And then there's obviously the element of the quarterback giving you a chance to catch the ball. Sometimes guys stack a guy and they're trying to slow down and then speed back up, or there's a lot of different things that go into those hitting those shots down the sideline.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Hoping to have Byard here at 1 o'clock, so should be here in a couple minutes.